Game number 2. Coming at you right here. Picks and bans. Team Rival get their first choice. We'll see if they stick to their selection of Deathwalkers or if they'll get Deathwalkers. Bellona is what I meant to say.
I don't think they necessarily even care whether or not they get that Bellona for Deathwalker.
Sure.
The way he played that Arlong Shen in that last game, they just have no worries whatsoever. They're actually baiting out Burrito to ban the Bellona here. We'll see if Burrito takes the bait.
Well, it'll be the Fafnir ban in Team Rival. Which direction do they go in? Because again, they can play pretty much whatever they want. And thinking some thoughts, and it will be the Bellona. So.
Sibi couldn't really perform as well as he would have liked.
We'll show you how it's done.
Losing his blue buff obviously doesn't help your soul lane matchup, but either way, this time around, Deathwalker gets his signature god in that lane. We'll see what he's truly capable of, but Burrito now they're going to strip away that Thor.
Yeah, Johnny's going to be able to play the character here, the semi-global god, and we'll take it away from Ice, which Ice, I mean, it's interesting. Thor is not a hyper carry. Thor is rarely that hard carry. I'd say 6 or 7 times out of 10, Thor is going to be aggressive, but find more love in his ults and his stuns than just absolutely murdering people. Rivals Iceicebaby did a little bit more than half of murdering people, but give him the Circuit, give him the, which is banned, give him the Susano, give him one of these gods that he can hard carry on, and Ice becomes fire.
Just can't really be too sure of the direction that Rival's going with their picks and bans, but running this Athena-Freya combination yet again. Still going to hold off on their mid-jungle pick for the time being, and I really want to see the potential that Vote can pull out on this late game Freya.
I will never be upset at seeing Freya. I think she's fantastic. A lot of people say that she's unbalanced, she's too strong, but I think how hard she's hamstrung in the early game, plus the fact that her escape options are only there if you're really good at the game. You gotta nail your whoop, you gotta know when to ult. If you ult preemptively, you wind up dying. I think Freya brings a lot to the game and still has some glaring weaknesses that are very important to observe.
Do you remember beginning Season 3, Enemy, Panic Cat playing Freya against Sword Gaming's Jigs is playing Terra?
It was Terra and Neath.
Okay, yeah.
It was literally the most push comp lane in the game versus the Freya, and I just said in picks and bans. Well, we'll see you later, Panic. Camazotz and Anhur finish out the draft for Team Rival. Wlfy playing one more time on that Anhur. And again, this is, I'll speak about it once we get into the game a little bit, but I love that Rivals stick to their own identity. I think it's so important as Nike rounds out the draft for Burrito.
Nike, an interesting selection in that solo lane. A god that can be really punished early on if you can disrupt that Rand, but Burrito, they need to find ways to help get that Nike stacks online as quickly as possible. More than likely, they need to find that balance of farming to get the minion stacks for the mobility and the damage, on top of getting that 10 kill stack before getting those 2 members to level 20 for that last and final 3rd stack.
Team Rival taking game 1. We'll see if they can take game 2. Now, Hunter's in the mid lane, not a weird thing.
No, since Smite's creation, they've always been here and there, depending on the player, depending on the team's preference to be able to mix and match. Because whenever you have a physical hunter in the mid lane, this means normally you either have that magical hunter in the dueling, or you have a magical soul laner potentially, or a guardian, or the jungle position, more than likely that Ao Kwang in the jungle. And
we saw the real commitment at a pro level. I think season 2 or 3 when Neath just started coming out. Everybody said, well, Neath is sort of a mage. Okay, we'll do that. These guys hiding behind the... oh, well, never mind. Vote just says, hey, guys, how's it going? And now he's going to pay for it.
Oh, no, not again. Freya going to get punished at level 1. The stun going to force out the bees, but at least he doesn't die at level 1, so he's still going to be relevant here and get some farming experience under that wave.
Yeah, Vote's going to go for the back harpies, understanding that he can't just watch. He's got to go ahead and do something, and they'll clean that one up.
And Sibi making the rotation to ensure that kind of a gank will teleport back into the soul lane, but this gives a lot of map control to Rival. Jumping in as Wlfy at level 2, finding the stun onto DeathPanter, but it's actually Dzoni that iceicebaby wants instead.
Yeah, can't catch up, however, so the invade is all Team Rival will be able to afford there. So, nice plays coming out from both teams. I wish Burrito would have found the kill on a Vote. I think that would have been a very good look. And had they chased him down, I think they would have killed him. But more importantly, understanding how valuable each second is in the early game. And that's a big boy play.
If they don't find the kill and Sibi stays a little too long and misses the wave, then he's just out of the laning phase entirely. But able to actually strip away this blue buff invade that Deathwalker really wanted to steal away, as iceicebaby was in the solo lane instead. However, Deathwalker still has his own blue buff to be able to get instead.
Yeah, it's a big boy play. Go back to the Freya moment. To know not to chase there, I mean, like I said, I would have liked to chase, but that's why I talk, you know what I mean?
It's level 1, you know, you only have one ability per god.
Exactly. It's a kill, but you gotta be cognizant of how important each second is. You gotta pick up that buff early so you can make it back to the lane for the experience that those minions hold. So very important plays coming out from the guys on Burrito to get 2 reds, but that said, Team Rival win on the other side of the map and get 2 speeds.
Yeah, but Burrito, look at this 2-level advantage. Just actually 1 now as Vote and Callus hitting level 3, but this means that Kespainify and Fusify will hit level 5 first, and that could be that power play that they really need. Purification beads are down for 40 seconds, but not hitting level 5 off this wave, so they're not going to be able to capitalize off of that relic cooldown.
Yeah, so Deathwalker without the health lead, just trying to lean on that Death's Toll with the cleave basics to really heal himself up.
And Nike, if you can't disrupt her Ren, she is just gonna be so devastating, despite obviously the bludgeon being able to instantly clear the wave. Unless you group it up entirely at the archers, you're not gonna be able to find that last slam hit on all 6 minions, and that's gonna be slightly slower against Sibi on this Nike, which allows her to still get some extra in-hands off in the process.
I like this play coming out from Team Rival. Understanding that their duo lane was put back so far, they're making the choice to go to those back harpies.
And not only that, it seems that Burrito is last hitting and trying to zone against Vote, preventing him from getting any of this gold and experience. But now, Kespainify will get off some last hits. That Vote has returned, just wants to clear this as quickly as possible and back to base.
And there's the Kraken and the DeathPanter. More defensive than not, it looks like, as 3 players are knocking at his door. And this is the point that I wanted to bring up initially was Neath sort of welcomed us to the world of the Hunter mid. We saw everybody play Neath. And then we saw Yaman of Energy fame sort of divert and go Chiron. And we saw other people divert and go different ways. We saw Uller in North America, right? Wlfy's the Anhur mid guy. And Wlfy's Anhur mid looks just as strong as players like Yaman's Chiron mid. I think that Wlfy's Anhur mid is such a treat to watch. It brings so much to the game in the early, mid, and the late game. It starts to fall off, but by then his teammates are ready to take it up. I think that Wlfy's presence in that mid lane early and mid are extremely valuable on the Anhur.
Especially considering he's able to play aggressive with his teammates. It's not just him playing aggressive, it's his whole team that they're able to accompany that sort of style into the team fights, going for a very interesting build here as he hasn't elected to try to go both spotting out Fusify around the corner. Gonna get rooted, stunned out, and now it's Kespainify and Fusify's turn to laugh and taunt instead.
Sometimes that's what happens. Vote taunting his way, saying, look, I know you're there. Fusify, you're not going to surprise me. Fusify goes, I don't need to surprise you.
I'm
Got
already
you
here.
anyway.
Yeah. I mean, what can you possibly do as Freya? You have to use one of your defensive capabilities between your beads or your ultimate. Both of those are not something you necessarily want to do, but in that situation, when you're getting zoned that deep and your teammates are not rotating to your lane because they're preoccupied winning the other sides, you just have to take the hit and recognize that you're going to be at a deficit in the early game. Use your beads, use your ultimate, survive, play until the mid to late game as your Freya.
Yeah, I mean, he just got hit harder than he expected, honestly. Vote, man, makes a poor choice there. He was playing it safe, staying on the tower, and he just played it too safe. And honestly, he triggered Fusify.
Honestly, he's
taunting him.
No. He's tactically feeding to allow that puddle to be on the ground for iceicebaby to make the rotation, look for a team fight.
You spent too much time with Zapman.
It's tactical feeding.
You have just spent too much time with Zapman, Anatoly. Those that don't know, Anatoly and Zapman played for a number of years together under Team Dignitas.
And Eager.
Oh, yeah. Look how the time goes. Burrito right now. Timing totally fine with them. They're up 1 kill to none. Wlfy is going to DC, so we're going to pause the game and allow him to come on back into it. This one, Burrito up 1 kill to none so far. Team Rival, the top card in this matchup. Do you think that Burrito can hold on to this lead?
Only if they continue the pressure onto Vote against this Freya. Considering how confident he is so far in the early game, I wouldn't be surprised if Burrito tried to lean on him a little bit more, because currently he has a 1-level deficit, but look at this. Look at this option coming out of Vote. He went for the reinforced grids, but hold that thought, because Burrito, they're trying to extend their lead with his Gold Fury.
Yeah, they go for it nice and early, and I like the wall out of Dzoni, but it's not going to be enough. Burrito will go ahead and retreat into the lane.
But going back into that discussion here, Vote recognizing that he's going to be in a lot of trouble here in this laning phase between the Terra rooting her in place, finding the stun, that she's elected to get this 20% crowd control reduction on this Freya, trying to survive and get into those later stages of the game by getting that Bancroft's talent and finishing off that Fatalis.
Now, the penetration boots are very important to Freya. But one of the nice things where Fatalis is these days is that Fatalis has 10 penetration built in by default. So you can afford to go a direction like this. It's not going to ruin you too much, understanding that you're going to get the 10 pen, and then of course you're going to build into whether it's Demo Grip or Shard. You're going to buy a real penetration, quote unquote, a little bit later on. And the beginning of the game is when those pen boots are going to assist you the most. You're not really looking to do much as Freya in the beginning of the game. And again, my final point here, power is nice. You always want power. I'm not going to say power is bad for Freya, but losing a little bit of power is a lot easier forgivable than losing power to the characters.
Double taunt from Callus, setting up the Desert Fury, but actually it's the Poseidon that does a lot of damage to Callus instead. In the sky is Dzoni, but he does not connect onto anyone.
Ah, that missed ultimate would have been a kill had it hit Callus, but so far off the mark.
Just not on the mark, like you said, giving a little bit of an advantage for Rival to regroup and recollect themselves. A nice little attempt onto DeathPanter as well as Dzoni, but it was a great turnaround. Burrito was not having any of that.
Gold Fury take 2. The only ultimate available is Sibi and Kespainify, looking instead for the team fight. Beautiful wall coming out of Dzoni, trapping them in DeathPanter's whirlpool. Perfect application of combinations. Deathwalker winds up getting 1 kill for his team. Still chasing out onto Kespainify. Will turn around and look towards Fusify, the other member of the duo lane. But again, a perfect clap from Terra. But Vote, still not enough. If Vote has pen boots, that's a kill.
That's true. That would definitely be a kill with that Valkyrie's discretion, but it still gives Rival the opportunity to get this Gold Fury, unless Sibi has something to say about it. No, he stopped at the red buff instead?
I got nothing on that one, Tolly. I got nothing on that one. Sibi chose the wrong objective to defend against, quite frankly, just rough.
Just doesn't seem like they had the vision. Dzoni even getting punished in the mid lane. Rival, they were behind in this early game. Votes forced to whoop Kespainify into safety, but just like that, that one exchange, being able to chase out members from Burrito under their own tier 2 tower, despite not finding as many kills as they would have liked, by forcing them back into the fountain, you're credited half a kill technically, because the time it takes to go back to base off of that 5-second recall and then walk back into the Gold Fury.
It's still a timeout.
It's still basically a respawn timer.
Exactly. It's funny, I actually was going to bring up, I was going to bring up, I said, he doesn't get the kill, but in your words, that's half of a kill. That's where he's going, and so it opens up the window.
Technical kill.
Exactly. That's probably the better. We'll find a good phrase for it. I like the half kill, but I'm with you. We can find something a little bit better. With that in mind, however, looking at that looked like Burrito's team fight. Dzoni started off perfectly with a perfect stun to get everybody dead in DeathPanter's whirlpool.
The problem was the rotation from DeathPanter on the back end. He found the bludgeon onto DeathPanter to kill him. I don't think his Aegis was available for that bludgeon, and on top of that, chasing out Kespainify and Fusify in the backhand, forcing out the beads from that Cernunnos, not able to stay in the team fight for as long as he would have liked to.
And because of that, everything goes awry. This time around, iceicebaby gets hit by the Kraken, and he's still alive!
He healed from his jump, able to get into the sky. Dzoni needs to hit this time around, but it's Fusify that finds the root. Gonna allow Callus to be that second victim for rival. Deathwalker gonna bludgeon DeathPanter again, but it's just not enough this time around.
Burrito with a successful team fight, 2 for 0. And so it's a 5-on-3 here in the middle lane. Burrito looking to look towards the portal demon, it seems.
Kespainify taking a really awkward pathing underneath of everybody. Gonna take a chunk of its health pool away from that bludgeon shield bash combination. Fusify trying to zone away portal demon, less than 25% health.
And that goes the way of Burrito. The Fire Giant Jr. is taken by the underdogs. Here comes the 2-on-1. The jump away from Sibi's got to be good. But Wlfy takes care of Fusify on the left side of the map. Callus giving chase. Sibi in trouble. Kespainify shows up to shove Deathwalker off of his solo laner.
Nice little tank of the tower shots from Callus, being able to save his soul laner's life. And just like that, Burrito, they secured themselves at least an objective, but they lose 2 members in the process. The respawns around level 10 is long enough to be able to squeeze in about 1 wave and 1 jungle camp or so, maybe even 2, and that's giving rival this slight advantage to still stay in the game.
And that's all they need. Rival just need to stay in the game because Vote will be Freya later.
It's like a ticking time bomb for them, honestly.
Yes.
Burrito needs to handle this Freya a little bit better. They forced her in a spot where she needs to... Oh, the stun not on the burst because of the passive there, but Fusify, without his dash, has nowhere to go.
Just running around in circles around that pillar. Deathwalker in trouble here as Burrito collapsed onto the solo laner. So it's a 1-for-1 across the map.
Favoring out Burrito, trading their support for a solo laner heavily. Difference in the respawn timers. DeathPanter without the purification beads. Desperation Kraken just to get off the damage. Just not enough members of Burrito to stop that tower dive.
So that's it. That's again one of those situations where your team just, there's no time for communication. The taunt and the pillar immediately behind him, right? You don't say, all right, Wlfy, drop your pillar behind after I taunt, right? Wlfy just has to know to go for that. Last game we saw Callus with a 3-man taunt, and Wlfy fired his ult down the middle. That's not really tough. That's just playing Smite. But iceicebaby on Thor took to the sky and ulted behind. Those are the type of team plays that you don't have time to communicate, but after playing together for over a year, you're able to just, you know your tendencies, you know what your players are looking for. Ice knows that Callus is going to be looking for these tactically strategic, highly aggressive plays. He doesn't throw caution to the wind, but he is definitely on the aggressive side. But he makes sure he has all the variables under control. And Ice says, listen, if Callus is trusting himself to do this, then I have to take his trust and go to the nth degree. And we're seeing that in this game as well. Ice taking to the skies and waiting out his teammates.
And DeathPanter didn't respect that aggression coming out of Callus because we saw just how committed Sibi and Dzoni were in that solo lane after killing Deathwalker. That needed to be communicated a little bit more efficiently, rather, to save their mid laner's life, or at least just recognize the fact that he was not going to get any assistance on the back end of things. And that still gives Burrito, though, at least that 500 gold of that tier 1 tower.
He didn't know. Vote didn't know that there was also a support player here. That's trouble.
But this time, though, he uses the shorter cooldown of that Valkyrie's discretion instead of the purification beads, still able to stay in the laning phase, gets off the damage onto Kespainify, which forces him to back, and he's going to take some losses under that tower as the melee minions will get stripped away.
Nice to see the losses go the other direction if you're a rival fan, since Freya has just been sitting under that tower, eating it.
Oh, Sibi, though, has to make this rotation count, but the taunt from Callus is going to stop that rotation from being even fruitful.
And there's Vote, pumping some damage in. Callus going to go ahead and find the escape onto iceicebaby. Wlfy makes the rotation as well, and now all of Burrito looking for him, but won't be able to find it. And so the regroup from Team Rival should be good.
The ultimate from Sibi, forcing out the ultimate from Callus. Kespainify gonna get taunted, taking a huge portion of his health. The whoop is good. Deathwalker with the Sunder and the Scourge in the sky is Dzoni, though, trying to land in the backline. He's gonna miss again.
Yeah, he couldn't find the target right after the dash. There's the jump forward from Sibi, and the follow-up from Deathwalker. Still looking for more as iceicebaby finds damage coming from the left-hand side. Wlfy gets the kill onto Fusify. Team Rival now up 8-3, 15.5 in, and they won game number 1, and game number 2 is still tight, but momentum on the side of Rival.
Just not enough damage from DeathPanter's Kraken to be able to thwart the efforts from Rival. Only level 12 Poseidon, doesn't have that many items completed quite yet. Second Gold Fury of the game, going in the way of Rival, and this could be that slow and steady incline that Rival has been known to do to start to close out this second game in the set.
It's funny, watching Energy come back, I called it a back to basics, a return to fundamentals, right? And we're seeing Team Rival ascend from that portion of fundamentals, right? They're going past it and finding themselves with things like this Freya selection.
Oh my goodness, the whoop. The whoop is good. Here
Fusify,
comes
though.
iceicebaby. Both of these members in the sky, just so
Fusify.
many members in the sky.
I love Fusify. I love watching this guy play. I understand he's on the losing team here totally, but Fusify has been on point with those Terra collapses. His Terra play has been great. I have said on Dzoni, not on the spot, just stuck there. I'm sorry. That one really got me. That one really tickled me. He got stuck.
He got him.
He got stuck.
All it takes is one little nook and cranny. Sibi trying to get away from that nook and cranny. Gonna get whooped. Vote with the gumballs throwing it, but it's Kespainify that's gonna stop him, along with the Terra's Blessing from Fusify. It's forcing Rival to back on out, but yet again, Burrito getting themselves that Portal Demon, but losing a member in the process.
I've said before, sorry, I just lost it with Dzoni dying there. I've said before that I think this Burrito team has the most legs out of our new bloods. I think Poppies have not reached their ceiling, but are closer to their ceiling than Burrito. I watched Kespainify and Fusify and Dzoni specifically, those three players. I watched these guys play, and there are obvious mistakes, and there are obvious points where they can grow, but I think these guys have such a high ceiling. I mean, one, just unrelated to gaming, it's nice to see Eastern Europe represented.
Sure.
Hell yeah. Give it up for them. But also, with respects to gameplay, you can see them improve virtually every game. They're reminding me of some of these players that finally got the opportunity to jump on in and then grow from that point. I think that's what we're going to see out of Burrito in general, specifically dual lane and jungle.
They have to take a lot and learn from this split. Callus diving in the backline, forcing the beast from Kespainify, the ultimate from Sibi. Dzoni landing in the backline onto Vote. The Kraken doing a lot as well. Second death already from Rival. 5-on-3 for Burrito.
Love the patience out of Dzoni to make sure all of his damage was confirmed. Sibi jumping forward, Burrito still 5 men strong, chasing it down the middle lane. Dzoni leading the charge. DeathPanter half HP, understanding he's got to hang back a little bit. Wave of minions right on time, and Burrito are looking at a tier 1 tower in the mid lane. 500 in the pocket for Burrito.
Using the sustain from Fusify. Sibi leading the charge with that red, forcing the jump coming out of Wlfy. Ice on the side as well. Looking for the flank, gets spotted out, has to retreat for a little bit longer. Deathwalker, though, doing so much poking. Here comes Callus.
Yeah, he's going to ride along with iceicebaby. Nice play coming out from Team Rival. Burrito understanding that they've got to get out of here. Fusify taking one for the team, preventing the chase.
Very clean death from Fusify, allowing his team to be able to get into safety. Because, sure, sacrificing a life, but he doesn't allow anyone else from his teammates to die. If they lose 3 members there, we see Rival go for more than maybe just this tier 1 tower. They go for maybe tier 2, but Dzoni's in the sky looking to stop. Sibi's taking a lot of damage.
But he's got the ultimate available. Here comes the ultimate out of Dzoni as well, landing on top, keeping the tier 1 tower alive. The flank from Ice is the scariest thing. That'll do enough damage to take Burrito out of the fight and give the tier 1 tower to Team Rival. Nice trade. Those are the moments of brilliance that I see, Toli. That's what I'm talking about. I love the play out of Fusify, preventing the chase down, even when they see it there. Sibi comes through, understanding that he's going to get hit, understanding that he has the ult. Dzoni's going to go ahead and prevent things. Ice just makes a fantastic flank. If Ice doesn't make that beautiful play, Burrito will have a defensive stop.
And Sibi's playing Nike, which is the best guy that you want to be that sponge, and Vote does not want to be the sponge, going into the sky, asking for help from his teammates. Nobody around to bail him out of that one. 40 seconds before he's back in this game.
That one, Vote's just in the wrong spot. He doesn't want to be in the sponge, but Oh, man. Just wasn't clean. I was going for it. I was going to say, I don't know. I'll wait for it later.
Did he sell his reinforced greaves just to finish off the pen boots now?
Yes, he did.
Wow, that's interesting, because normally you usually see that at later stages of the game. That definitely hurts his build in the earlier stages, but now he has that power spike of the Bancrofts and the Fatalis. Kespainify going to get chased down. iceicebaby is going to be able to secure this one.
Yeah, not available. Just not there. Ice with the fantastic aggression, hand in hand with Collis, able to take out the Hunter real quick. Dzoni landed right on down with the Circus Barrage and the Kraken jumping forward. Wlfy's in trouble. One more basic will do it, but he can't catch up. The taunt will be strong, but Sibi takes down Wlfy anyway.
Nice little juke to avoid the Whirlpool and dashing away. Callus gets out of that one. 1-for-1 as Wlfy falls for Kespainify. Dzoni's going to get Whirlpool underneath, but it doesn't matter. Fusify going to root, but here comes Ice yet again from the side.
Always with the flank. Somebody's got to keep the bat out of the situation because he's ruining everything for Burrito. Deathwalker playing off of Collis's taunt, putting damage into Fusify one more time, just making everybody look at him instead of his teammates. Likely going to make it to the tower before he falls, which could be problematic because it feeds right onto Sibi.
4-on-4 play still available. Sibi's going to run away as Vo's going to chase him down. Valkyrie's discretion taking out the life out of the Nike. Sibi sit down for 45. 5-on-3 for rival. Dzoni's going to make it probably a 5-on-2 if Vo turns around, but it doesn't matter because he's zoning out Kespainify instead.
Oh, well. Oh. The death in the mid lane for Fusify, that was how you do it. You die in one spot so the enemy can't chase your team. This time around, Fusify led them directly, them being rival, directly to the rest of his team. If Fusify walks backwards or even stands still, team rival don't get the secondary kills out of the tower.
I like what he tried to do, though, is buy some time. He used the stun walls to be able to get a dash through it, and then dash again into safety, but it was just a little bit too eager, I would say, because he sacrificed his life earlier on for the greater good. This time, he does sacrifice his life, but it could have been further away from the tier 1. He could have dashed south into the tier 1 tower of rival instead of the tier 1 of his own.
Exactly.
And separate that distance.
And you know, these are mental mistakes. These are mental mistakes that you know, Burrito is a brand new team, and I sort of give them a pass, if you will. Those are the things that you watch the tape back and you learn from, and you go, okay, you know, watch that play in the mid lane, do that instead of what you did in the dual lane next time around. So rough stuff coming up for Burrito, able to hang on for so long now, still not out. Down, but certainly not out. Down by about 7,000.
They still need to look for some of these kills because they're just one kill away from that second stack of that Nike passive. Once you get that 10 kills, you get more mobility, more damage for all of your teammates. Cal's going to find the taunt out to Kespainify, forcing out that Purification Beast. Deathwalker going to find the Scourge onto that Hunter.
Sibi going for it, jumping in, gets stunned. That's the power of the Anhur in Wlfy's hands. Deathwalker going to get taunted into the Kraken, but jumps over it. Unfortunately, stunning nobody. Dzoni shows up, gets the Circus Barrage, putting Collis and Deathwalker so very low. But Wlfy's the one getting the kill first. iceicebaby the one getting the kill second.
And Ice is not done yet. He's going to actually retreat under that tier 2 tower. The rest of his teammates can't dive the same rate that this bat can, utilizing some of those pools off of the depths as well to be able to still stay in that team fight, rather, as they strip away the speed buff. They're getting that stuff after the stuff. Not only the speed buff, they're going for this fire giant.
Burrito can contest this, but there's only a few players here. It's a 5-on-3, which is why team rival are opting to go for the fire giant when Deathwalker's so very low. It's just Wlfy and DW. Everybody else is zoning.
Callus and Vote are successful. They even find the kill onto Kespainify. Deathwalker gonna slow Fusify. The damage from iceicebaby's good. There's only one more member. It's DeathPanter standing as Dzoni has made the respawn. It might be a delayed deicide if they dive this, and they will get it.
Dzoni in the sky, landing in his own jungle, could be a target. He'll play it safe. Team rival, on the other hand, walking directly towards the right side. Phoenix is already being attacked down to about, well, 90% and still pushing. Dzoni battling it with Ice. He's 3 levels down. Not the fight you want to take, my friend. And again, You'll have to watch the tape. Ice.
That's just the icing on the cake right there. Sitting in the own pool of your victim.
Yep. Just waiting for it. Just waiting for it. I like the flair that Rival has earned.
That's like a next level BM right there.
And I say earned. This
like,
team has earned the spot.
So right there, that's like a half BM, because normally you sit in the tower anyway as a soul laner, you get a kill as a tanky whoever god, you sit there anyway, take the tower shots. Like, I could still have taken X amount of tower shots and still killed you, right?
Right.
But this is a half BM because, like, I'm gonna drink the pool.
Totally our expert BM analysis. Thank you for giving us the ins and outs of how to properly BM.
What if he didn't drink the pool? It's like I'll
Stood next to it.
sidestep the pool and then take the tower shots.
Were you a particularly celebratory solo laner? Totally in your day?
No, I didn't really do the same BET that Omega did.
Yeah, you were a little different.
I was more of like outside of the game than inside of the game.
Right. Just making it happen on Tea Time with Toli.
Tea Time with Toli. I would just describe it all over there. I need to bring that back.
There's the throwback. Right now, the look forward at Team Rival, the squad that could be one of the new powerhouses of Europe. There's still a couple of question marks from some people out there. And I think that, you know, Burrito is a team that they probably should have taken quick handles of. But, as I said, Burrito does have some really shining spots here. Team Rival, however, getting ready at 27 minutes for the final push. Dzoni in the sky looking for the backhand stun. Can't find it. Girdle means go. Deathwalker and Wlfy both get a kill for themselves in the middle of the team fight. Left side is going to be the Phoenix. That's where Team Rival will focus their efforts after Collis chases down Fusify.
With that Sunder kill as well, Titan gonna get pulled. DeathPanter taking a lot of damage under his own Titan. iceicebaby trying to get some kills there. DeathPanter's gonna fall regardless. Another deicide here. Burrito is gonna lose their second game of this set, allowing Rival to get those 3 points. Still jumping. Still jumping, having a blast.
This is the team that has earned their right to be as sassy as they'd like. And you know what? When I see players exhibit bad manners or be that type of guy, it comes from two places. You get the really angry dude that's just, I'm happy you died, man. I'm so, and then you get the players that are just having a blast. And that's what I really like about this. Not Cyclone unit, the Rival unit. They're always having fun playing the game.
They're just so comfortable with each other, which is why we didn't see any roster changes between Season 3 or Season 4, even in between splits, as they weren't successful as well as Obey Alliance or Team Dignitas, where they still are in a very comfortable spot together, even replacing their coach as he jumped ship to Obey Alliance with Alpha Jackal. This team is looking very strong on all cylinders.
Yeah, I mean, this is a team where I sat there saying, what are the roster changes happening? And the guys responded, we understand that X player or Y player may not be up to par yet, but as a unit, we enjoy playing together. We think we have the future. And you know what? That is one of the situations where I'm happy to be proven wrong. It's a blast getting to watch these Rival guys, and I don't think they've reached their ceiling. And I think it's only up from here. Same to be said about Burrito, however. Let's break down both teams' performances in games 1 and game number 2 and the future.
It's going to be a 2-minute break, though, as we're going to take it to the next set here. It's going to be Enix against Team Dignitas. Stay tuned.